Hello and welcome back to TVP World. My name is Alex Smolinsky and these are World Talks. Now on Sunday, Bulgaria will choose a new parliament for the 7th time in the last 3 years. The highly fragmented political landscape of the country gives little hope to form a government this time too. The prolonged instability has led to a total distrust for the parliament, with only 6% of Bulgarians believing in it. And to discuss this upcoming election, we're joined by Jacek Wojnicki, Associate Professor, University of Warsaw. Good evening and welcome to TVP World.
Good evening.
So now, what do the latest polls say? Who is likely to win this election?
It's a very interesting question, but nobody knows who win, because political situation in Bulgaria is very hard. It's symbol of the political decline. Not stable majority in parliament is now the big problem for the Bulgarian democracy. And surveys show that the next election was not good situation for the future in Bulgaria.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, what do you think led to this, that we're talking about a 7th election in just 3 years?
Yes, like in Israel, it's the similar problem. The situation is the camp of the Boyko Borisov is too weak for govern, but too strong to collapse. And democratic camp in the same situation. The Let's Continue to Change was too weak to govern and participate in government, but too strong for the parliament element of the situation.
Mm-hmm. So now, this time around, do you think, is there a chance for any coalition to form a government with the support of the majority of lawmakers?
The problem is the rest of the movement, because we have the Boyko Borisov camp. It's count about the 25%. The Let's Continue to Change, democratic camp, modernistic camp, it count about the 20%. And the rest of the movement is movement post-communist, nationalistic and populistic. And this is the main problem for the modern Bulgaria.
Mm-hmm. So now, I mean, what do you think? Because Bulgaria and Romania, they joined the EU together in 2007. Today, Romania appears to be a much more European country than Bulgaria. Why do you think this is so?
The situation is different, because Romania was very deep change for the 10 years. Its President Klaus Iohannis made patronate under the anti-corruption institution, under the change in the judge, in the card, and it's very development in democratic institution and market institution in Romania. But Bulgaria not this change, and situation is very worse in the Europe. It's still men in Europe say.
Mm-hmm. So now, I mean, so we have these elections coming up, and we also have Russia, which is really trying to influence this region of the world as they try to, of course, change the world order, which is led by the US and its allies. What do you think? Just how much is Russia going to try, and use this situation to try and get Bulgaria back more into its sphere of influence?
The influence of Russia in Balkan, in Bulgaria, are very stable, because for many years Russia is the symbol of the friends of these people. In the period of the Ottoman time, yes, Russia was the friend for the Slavian people in the Bulgaria. In the communist time, the stable of the communist institution was reason this situation. The Russia was the friend, not in the like situation in Poland and Hungary, with enemy, not friend. And now the Russian, the Putin camp have influence to the post-communist party or the nationalistic party, and maybe this situation was in the future, the near future, play a role in the next parliament.
So now, given this political landscape and the situation in Bulgaria, just how much do you think Bulgarians still believe in democracy?
Bulgaria is symbol of the unfinished and delayed transformation, post-communist transformation, because the process of socio-political, economic process was unfinished. And situation in Central Europe, Poland, Czech Republic, Slovakia and Hungary is different like in the Bulgaria, because Bulgaria is the other part of this or history, because the post-communist, but the Central Europe was the capitalist democratic world.
So you mentioned that this progress was unfinished. Why was this progress that you're talking about unfinished in Bulgaria, but managed to move forward in other countries?
Situation in Bulgaria was not stable, and we made survey that the democratic made the second time of create the stable government supported by the other party, but the other scenario is the continue of the government of Boyko Borisov. It's not good scenario for Bulgaria, I think.
So now, given this current instability, do you think that it could promote the far right and populist parties more?
Populism is the big problem for the post-communist Bulgaria, because the rest of the society in the province, poor, was determined what change needs good situation for it. The communist nostalgia is in this society very high, and is determined this party, populist party.
I'm just curious, because you're saying that this nostalgia for these, well, communist times is still high. Why do you think that is?
Because the program of the economic change was unfinished, and capitalist institution not good work in this Bulgaria. It's not stable situation like in the Central Europe or Romania, for example, but hybrid situation. We have the part of element of the communist style and part element of the post-communist style.
And what is the problem? How big of a problem is corruption in Bulgaria?
I think it's a very big problem, because many of the politicians say that he buy the law, by the voters, and it's a very big problem for the Bulgaria, I think.
And then just how much do you think this affects the lives of everyday citizens of Bulgaria?
I think it's the result of the low political culture in the province. It's the result of the unfinished post-communist transformation. It's result of the weakness of the democratic institution. And last but not least, it result weak of the social society.
And what about, so you just mentioned this civil society. Do you think, just how important are some grassroots initiatives, and what has to be done, what has to be done in order for the situation to change, so that citizens can trust the government, and that they will ultimately have somebody to vote for, and that there is a chance for a stable government to form?
The civic society is very strong in the academic sphere, in the intellectual sphere, in the city, in the big city of the Bulgaria. And big city Bulgaria, it's not all Bulgaria. The province, what the very big, a lot of people live in the province, and its change come to the province very low, very low.
Okay, so there's always room for improvement. And now, what about Bulgaria's foreign policy and its position in Europe? Do you think Bulgaria is a reliable partner for other countries of the region? And how does it position Bulgaria in the EU?
It's a very interesting question, because even Boyko Borisov, with stable partner of the Europe, its partner Angela Merkel, and membership, his camp is membership EPP. It's very stable, and Angela Merkel, to the end of his career, support Boyko Borisov. And agreement with the America, agreement with the EU was very important for the foreign policy on Bulgaria. But I think that the situation not stable, it's very risky for the element of the policy for Ukraine, for the future immigration crisis, because we know who will be governed in Bulgaria.
All right. Well, very interesting and challenging times ahead in Bulgaria. Jacek Wojnicki, Associate Professor from University of Warsaw, thank you very much for speaking to us here on TVP World. And that's a wrap for this edition of World Talks. But for more interviews like these, as well as current news updates, do stay tuned to TVP World.